Welcome to Diploma Guru. In this session, we are going to discuss about subnetting concept in computer networks. The subnetting is nothing but a process of dividing a single network into multiple subnetworks. So here, this larger network is going to be divided into several smaller networks. So this is called subnetting. The subnetworks created are called subnets. So these are all different subnets. Okay, these are different subnets, and each subnet has a unique network address to identify individual subnets. So that is called subnet ID. Subnet ID we are using to identify individual subnets. Okay, so here how the process takes place mean. So these subnets are created by borrowing some of the bits from the host ID part of the IP address. So here is an example. In this example, so this is a class C network IP address, network address. So for class C, first three octants represent the network ID part and the last octant represent the host ID part. So in the last octant we have only 8 bits. From the out of 8 bits, so we are going to borrow 2 bits for subnet ID purpose. So in order to identify these subnets individually, uniquely, so we require 4 bits, 2 bits. So as it is having 4 subnets, so we require 2 bits. So 00 for one subnet and 01 for another subnet, 10 for one subnet and 11 for another subnet. So in this way we require for 2 bits to be borrowed from the host ID part. So then the remaining bits that are available in the host ID is 6 bits only. Okay, this borrowing of bits, how many bits should be borrowed, that purely depending on the number of subnets you are creating. Okay, so here we are creating 4 subnets, that's why we require 2 bits. If you want to create 8, so then we require 3 bits. If you want to create 2 subnets, then you require 1 bit. So you need to borrow 1 bit from the host ID part. Okay, it's like that. Now, coming to the advantages of subnetting, as we are dividing this big network into smaller subnetworks. So, maintaining a big network compared with maintaining these smaller networks, so are easy. So that's why the maintenance and administration of subnets is easy, as it leads to the improvement of security. So these are the two advantages of subnetting. Okay, so it improves the security and the maintenance costs less. Coming to the disadvantage, here for a big network, so we require one network ID and one limited broadcast address. So these two are the IP addresses that we are reserving. Means, so all zeros at a host ID part gives the network ID, and all ones at a host ID part gives the limited broadcast address of a particular network. So coming to the individual subnets, so these individual subnets also require to reserve two IP addresses, one for a limited broadcast address and another for a network subnetwork address. Okay, so like this, so these 4 subnets going to reserve total 8 IP addresses. So coming to the big network, so here, so we are losing approximately, right, 8 IP addresses. So this leads to, so the one of the disadvantages, subnetting leads to loss of IP addresses. And one important thing here, subnetting also leads to complicated communication process. Why? Because, so for example, here is the source want to send some information to the destination that is available in the subnet, for example here. Okay, so in this case, how the communication takes place mean, the source, from the source IP address, the nearest router, it is moving the packets. This router is going to analyze which network it is. So in that case, so the packets are coming to this network, and then this network is already divided into subnets. So it is need to identify which subnet that particular packet belongs to. Then after that, it is going to identify the host among the available host in the subnet. Okay, so that's why it is somewhat a complicated communication process compared with the normal communication. Okay, so here we have two kinds of subnettings are there: fixed subnetting and variable subnetting. This fixed length subnetting is also called classful subnetting, and variable length subnetting is also called as classless subnetting. Okay, so now in the fixed subnetting, how this fixed length subnetting takes place mean here in the process of dividing the larger network into smaller networks, we are calling it as subnetting. While performing this subnetting operation, if you are dividing the larger network into all are of equal size, same size subnets, then it is a fixed length subnetting. As it is having same size means it also having equal number of hosts that can accommodate in individual subnet, and at the same time it all the subnets are having same subnet mask. Okay, so it is the entire network is divided into equal number of sizes. So if it as it is dividing equal size means it can host accommodate equal number of hosts and having same subnet mask address. Okay, coming to the variable length subnetting. So here the entire network is going to be divided into different sizes of networks, subnets. So here is a larger one and this is a smaller one and this is a very smaller one. So like that. So here all the subnets are not have same size. As it is not having same size, they won't accommodate a equal number of hosts in individual subnets. So that's why it must have individual subnet mask for the all the subnets individually. Okay, so this is about variable length subnetting. So if you have any kind of query, just comment in the comment section, and if you are first time visiting my channel, please subscribe Diploma Guru CSIT. Thank you.